Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, everyone. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating devotional, and it's about something absolutely crucial, your mind. To really get what this devotional is teaching us, I want you to completely change how you see your own brain. Right now, I want you to picture your mind as this massive, ancient stone castle. Just picture it in your head. You've got towering, thick stone walls, right? A giant moat filled with water all the way around it, and a heavy wooden drawbridge that literally only lowers when you say so. You are the ruler, the king or the queen of this incredible fortress. And as the absolute ruler, it's your very important job to decide exactly what gets to come inside those walls and what absolutely has to stay out. But here's the crazy part that the devotional warns us about. There is actually an invisible battle happening for your thoughts right now. Literally this very second. And no, it's not a battle fought with shiny metal swords or catapults or even giant water balloons. It's a battle over whether you choose to believe a mean thought about yourself when you make a mistake, or whether you decide to be honest when you're tempted to lie to your parents about something you accidentally broke. It's a battle happening at school, out on the playground, and right there in your living room. It is a quiet, ongoing battle for what you think about and what you choose to believe every single day. So let's jump into part one, the invisible mind battle. So, what exactly is attacking our awesome fortress? Well, the devotional gets right to the point about what we're up against, and it honestly might surprise you because the enemy isn't what you'd expect. It points to a famous, incredibly powerful warning from the Bible, Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, which says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, and not after Christ." Now, hearing that word spoil might make you immediately think of, I don't know, rotten, smelly milk in the back of the fridge. But actually, scratch that. It means something completely different here. Back in the day, to spoil meant to sneakily capture or steal away a treasure. And in this case, the treasure isn't a shiny chest of gold or diamonds. The treasure is your mind, your focus, and your daily peace. Now, what's really interesting here is exactly what these invaders are using to steal that precious treasure from your castle. The devotional calls it vain deceit. That basically just means sneaky, empty tricks used to fool someone. You see, the enemy doesn't use giant, scary monsters jumping out of your closet with loud jump scares. No way. He doesn't come charging at your castle walls with a loud, roaring army that you can see from a mile away. Instead, it's all about quiet, sneaky tricks perfectly designed to fool you without you even realizing your fortress has been broken into. Moving right along to part two, the sneaky master deceiver. The devotional calls our opponent a master worker. This enemy doesn't show up looking like a terrifying supervillain from a comic book. Instead, imagine a master worker in a super clever disguise, a subtle influence just wearing ordinary, everyday clothes, trying to quietly trick you into letting your drawbridge down. And why is this deceiver so incredibly good at his job? Well, the devotional points out something wild. Satan has been experimenting on the human mind for thousands of years. I mean, think about how insanely good you get at a video game if you play it every single day for just 1 year. You learn all the cheat codes, the hidden traps, the glitches, every single pixel of the map. Now imagine studying how human brains work for thousands of years. He knows exactly how to sneak past our defenses if we aren't paying close attention. So how does he actually pull this off in real life? The devotional outlines the deceiver's favorite sneaky tactics. First, he uses other people's minds to influence ours. This is kind of like when a friend tries to convince you that breaking a rule at recess is really no big deal, because, hey, everyone else is doing it anyway, right? Second, he links his thoughts with ours. Think of this literally like a sneaky hacker taking over your controller in an online multiplayer game. He tries to make you think his bad ideas are actually your own ideas. And third, he tries to confuse our minds so we only hear his voice. He creates so much noise and distraction that we don't even notice our controller has been completely hacked, and we're the ones making bad choices. Let's switch gears and look at part three, guarding your everyday thoughts. Let's move to how this builds, because here is the absolute best part of the devotional. We are not defenseless. We actually have the power to stop the hacker and keep our castle totally secure. The devotional gives us clear, actionable steps to build an unbreakable mind fortress. Step 1, practice habits of self-control. This means doing things like turning off your tablet or screen when your time is up without arguing or throwing a fit. Step 2, learn obedience. This looks like listening to your parents or teachers the very first time they ask you to do something. And step 3, bring the gospel into everyday life, which really just means treating your siblings and your friends with love, kindness, and forgiveness. So the crucial point is, these aren't just boring rules adults make up. They are the giant, strong stone blocks that build up your castle walls, keeping those sneaky invaders completely out. Which brings us to part 4, emptying pride, enthroning Christ. Now, having strong outside walls is fantastic, for sure, but we also have to look at what's happening on the inside of the castle. And this brilliantly illustrates the choice we have. On one side, we have what the devotional calls proud imaginings. This is just a fancy way of describing when we get stubborn, cross our arms, and think we know how to do things better than everyone else, even better than God. On the other side is the obedience of Christ, which simply means trusting Jesus to guide us because he actually knows what is best for us. The devotional tells us we literally have to get out our brooms and sweep all that stubborn pride straight out of our castle. We have to empty out the pride to make room for Jesus to step in and be the true king of our fortress. Look, the devotional reminds us that this invisible battle isn't totally over yet. That tricky deceiver is still going to try his hardest to sneak past the drawbridge. But the absolute best news is this: the Lord will be our helper if we seek him earnestly. This means when we try to connect with God by doing simple things like praying, just talking to him about our day, or reading our Bible, he steps in to help us. Even when the battle feels really tough or you feel like you're messing up, God is our ultimate protector. He fights the battles we can't even see and keeps our fortress perfectly secure. Which leaves us with one very important decision that only you can make. Who will you let sit on the throne of your mind's fortress today? Are you going to let a sneaky deceiver hack his way in and plant his bad thoughts? Or will you choose to build those strong walls of self-control, practice obedience, and invite Jesus to take the throne? Remember, you are the ruler of your castle every single day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay strong and keep those walls guarded.